Well, while we are at it, I'm gonna do the video since I'm cosplaying. I was doing kind of a cabaret type of number with the Joker. Um, understand what you mean, but I really want to explain my perspective because I think it's very important. And this is not something that people expect from me, so I'm not expecting you to know that. So, but I think that this is a perspective that happens. But it's also just, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking in general. There's something about the movie that bothers me a little, and it's the reaction that people have in general. Is that if you don't like something about the movie, it's either like, oh, you don't get it, or you see, you're likely. But like, there are so many, like, multiple reasons why someone can dislike some parts or just like a movie. And sometimes the way the movie is made, or the way that the story is told, sometimes it's not something people like. But for me, it's not really that I don't like the movie. If you ask me if I like it or not, it's going to be a very complicated answer, because I dislike a lot of things and I love a lot of things. But the most part of why I cannot really disconnect, first of all, there's a part, like, one of the layers is the catharsis, because the first movie is the same exact life than mine in details. I struggle because it really triggered a lot of things, but for a lot of people like me, it really triggers a lot of stuff, but it's also serving as a healing tool. And it certainly became an healing tool for me. But not only that, the way that the movie, the sequel was made, really surprised me, because I wasn't expecting that. And something that I have since childhood, because of the severity of my trauma, is what is called dissociative identity disorder, or DID, or split personality. It used to call multiple personality disorder, but it's not anymore, because it's not really multiple personalities. So that's why they changed the name. But there's still a lot of stigma surrounding that, so people still think to this day that it's like separate personalities, when it's not that. I'm gonna show after this video something to explain, because one of the main things that I'm doing with this character is that I raise awareness about mental health, because it's giving me a voice and it's helping me having a voice for the others. And one of the things I'm so bothered about, and I'm so tired of hearing, is people like ignoring the complexities of situations, of movies, of stories, and just being like good, bad, punish, or and stuff like that. Like, because I like Joker, I would be toxic or glamorizing violence. For me, this character is really, first of all, the result of what happens when you don't take care of someone, when you don't offer the therapy, when you don't give the dignity to a person. Oh, you excuse violence. Oh, okay. So since when having empathy for it equals like excusing? It's just the way that it's done. I don't believe that just the laws and how and it's made in court, like how it's like always you kill, so you're going to be punished. You have to face the consequence of his actions, but the way that it's told, that's not what I believe in. I believe in restorative justice, and if you ask me, does the person face the consequence of the action, that's the main goal. But it's in a better way, healthier way, it's making the society better also. For me, because I have Joker and Arthur as alters, that they used to call it, it's more emotional parts. I cannot really disconnect, and it is healthy because it's coping mechanism, but that you cannot remove, first of all. And second, because I have DID, he has all the same symptoms. I cannot separate Joker from Arthur. And I'm gonna say that again because people think that Joker is not a part of Arthur, but it's not like being a part of. It's the same person. It's that people are still having this image of being separate personalities. For me, this is not like the Joker from the comic. This is not a Joker that is a hero. That is, it's a part of him. It's a part of resilience. And for me, Arthur is very important. It's just the very beginning. This is someone that I cherish. This is a part of me that hold the traumatic memories. Joker holds the assertive part that I wasn't able to have. I'm still trying to accept, because accepting means I have to accept what came with that in the past. It's the art, the daily things that I have to deal with. So in general, that's what I wanted to explain, but if you have questions, please don't hesitate. I really, I'm open.
Comment reads, old host? The host can change? Is the host not the one who was born first? And I'm assuming that meant to say formed first. So no, what you're describing here is core theory, and it's not how DID works. So the way a lot of people think about it is that we have one whole identity, and then bad things happen in childhood, and the brain starts putting up barriers and breaking this whole separate thing apart. But in actuality, we are born with separate parts called ego states. So this one might be sad, this one is hungry, this one is happy, etc. Now, around the ages of 7 to 9, these ego states are going to form down into that one cohesive identity. But if you are experiencing severe trauma in childhood, your brain is going to put up barriers between these pre-existing parts to try and protect them. So there is no core, there's no original alter. We all started out as separate parts that didn't get to form into one personality. How many parts there are, the strength of the amnesic barriers between them is going to vary system to system and vary over time as new alters will split off or fuse down, but there never was one original part, one original host. And in fact, some systems don't even have a host. I'm not positive, and it's really hard to tell because we have such poor recollection of our childhood, but it seems like there's a decent chance that we didn't have a host when we were very young. It wasn't until we got older and needed to have more consistent day-to-day memory to get through school that we started having hosts take over the position. And I'm not even sure exactly how many hosts that we've had. I think that we've had at least 3 or 4. I am a fusion of a couple of alters, we think including our last host, but I'm honestly not even sure of that. So yes, hosts can change over time. They can split, they can go dormant, they can fuse. You can end up with a co-hosting scenario. They could swap out temporarily and then come back. There's a lot of different ways. And also, again, a system might not have a host at all. And the idea that there is one singular alter that everybody else split off of, who is like the center of the system, is just untrue. That's not how DID forms. Hope this was helpful.